her extravagant spending habit. That was the only problem Lucy had.
She doesn't have any other joy in life, so lend her the money,
my husband would say. Because of her, my savings were dwindling day by day. I realized this couldn't go on, so I decided to make a sacrifice involving my husband. My name is Helen. I'm 28. My husband Jonah and I will soon celebrate our second wedding anniversary. We don't have kids yet and live a relaxed life together. I mainly manage our finances, while my husband is on an allowance as a salaried worker. He is easygoing, never raises his voice or complains to me. His mother is basically a good person too. When you hear about mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationships, you might think of snide remarks or harassment. But Lucy doesn't despise me or burden me with chores. She's far from the typical mother-in-law. However, she does have one big issue: her excessive spending. She's addicted to shopping online, feeling restless unless she buys something daily. Just the other day, she excitedly showed me her latest purchase, saying, "Look, Helen, I bought this. It's a supplement that's good for the skin." Lucy, did you buy supplements again? Didn't something arrive last week too? Oh, did it? But this one is really popular. It was $250 for a month's supply, but it's definitely worth it. $250 for just 1 month? Isn't that too expensive? That means it's effective. I have to start taking it right away. Oh, Lucy. Her way of shopping was abnormal. It wasn't rare for her to spend $250 on supplements in a month, and she had multiple subscriptions for similar products. Unused fitness equipment was everywhere. Moreover, every time she bought something online, she'd call me over to her place to boast about her purchases. I always ended up cleaning up the cardboard boxes and wooden crates. She used online shopping so much that she couldn't even keep track of what she had bought. It was driving me insane. One day, as I was disposing of empty boxes, I found several of the same item, some of which were already past their expiration date. I couldn't overlook it anymore and confronted her. "Lucy, you have 6 of the same item here." "Let me see. Oh, I remember buying this before. Brings back memories." "That's not the point. Half of what you have bought is already expired. It's such a waste." "Expired? Oh, I didn't notice." "Well, nothing to do but throw them away, I guess." "How many times has this happened? If you're not going to use them, at least try not to buy the same thing." "But you know, I buy things based on inspiration at the moment. Every time I come here, there's more stuff. I can't even keep track of what I've bought." Despite my warnings, she wouldn't listen. It was clearly a waste of money, but she didn't see it, which was truly frustrating. Plus, she was living off her pension. Her husband had passed away a few years ago, leaving her alone in her house. She had spent all of her late husband's modest inheritance on online shopping. Initially, I thought she might have been shopping to ease her loneliness, but that didn't seem to be the case. Lately, she even started asking me for money. "Helen, could I speak to you for a moment?" "What is it, Lucy?" "Well, it's just that I'm a bit short on living expenses this month." "Again? Didn't I give you money last month and the month before?" "Please, I won't make it until my next pension payment without it." That's because you buy everything from online shopping. Before asking for money, please reconsider your purchases, as I've told you so many times. Online shopping is my only joy. Despite being exasperated with her, I couldn't just leave her be. At least review and cancel the subscriptions you don't need. It would make things a lot easier. Are you trying to take away my hobby and tell me to work? That's not what I'm saying. It's just that there's too much unnecessary stuff in this house. If it continues, you really won't have money or space to live. Helen, you don't need to say it like that. But you don't seem to understand, unless I put it this way. Even today, there's clearly more stuff than before. Well, money disappears if you keep spending it. But paying for things you don't use is meaningless. I will use them. I bought them because I thought they were good. How many times have you used the fitness equipment? Have you ever finished a supplement? Well, I was fed up with her excuses and not taking my advice seriously. Let me be clear. You just like the act of buying. That's why you don't use what you purchase. And as a result, you run out of money. Please, think about your limits. I understand. However, despite my efforts to persuade her, her online shopping habits didn't change. Realizing it was futile, I decided to talk to my husband about it. Jonah, it's about your mom. Do you remember when we talked about her online shopping?
Yeah, you mentioned it. She started watching shopping channels and shopping sites more after Dad died. What about it?
I hate to say this, but your mom's wasteful spending has gotten out of control. She's even asking me for money to cover her living expenses now.
Really? Is she that short on money?
It's not about being short on money. She's buying useless things online.
Useless things?
You might not get it because you never see it, but it's really bad. There are expired products all over her place. Hearing about his mother's situation, Jonah sighed softly.
Come on, Helen. Don't be so stingy.
Excuse me?
Mom is lonely since Dad died. If shopping online or on TV and enjoying it gives her a little relief, then let it be.
Wait a minute. I don't mind if your mom enjoys shopping by herself. But do you understand the situation? She's asking me for money.
She doesn't have any other joy in life right now. Just lend her a little.
I can't believe he's taking her side after everything I've explained. It's as if he's saying,
Mom is not in the wrong. Be kind to her.
That really made me mad. Enough already. I'm talking to you because nothing changed no matter how much I tried to address it. Do you get it?
So we shouldn't take away her fun unnecessarily.
That's not the point. You haven't been home recently, so you can say that so casually. Then, he sighed a sigh far bigger than any before and said,
Look, I'm tired from work. I don't want to become home to my wife, bad-mouthing my mother.
Bad-mouthing? How is this bad-mouthing? I'm worried about your mom's living situation.
Then just help her out like she asked.
What?
If you're really worried about Mom, you could lend her a bit. Am I wrong?
But...
You've always been stingy, complaining about her shopping. I'm embarrassed to have such a miserly woman as my wife.
That's when an incredible rage boiled inside me. I understand. So your mother's lifestyle is your priority. Well, I have my thoughts too. I will support your mom as you wish. That's why I decided to put my plan into action. As expected, Lucy asked for money the next day, holding an envelope with $500. I went to her house. When I handed her the envelope, she thanked me with a beaming smile. "Oh, thank you, Helen. This $500 really helps." "No, it's fine. And this time, it's not from me." "What do you mean?" "Look at the back of the envelope." "To Mom. Is this from Jonah?" "Yes. He seems to have cut back on his allowance for you. So please use it wisely." "Yes. My plan was to put Jonah's next month's allowance of $500 in an envelope and give it to Lucy for living expenses. Of course, I hadn't told him yet. But I wouldn't let him complain. After all, he's the one who prioritized his mother's lifestyle." As soon as she received the envelope, she immediately started calling to order from a catalog. Look at this supplement. It contains royal jelly. Doesn't it seem like it's going to be effective?" Watching her, I couldn't stop smirking. That night, when my husband returned from work, I reported what happened at his mother's house. "I went to your mom's place and gave her living expenses today."
So you helped her with money after all. She must have been happy.
"Oh yes. She was thrilled, saying, 'Jonah did this for me?'"
Me?
"Your allowance of $500 for next month. I gave it to your mom today."
What? Please tell me you were joking. Don't just give her my money without talking to me first.
"What do you mean? You're the one who said to lend her money."
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should use my allowance.
He blamed me as if I was at fault. To such a husband, I stated clearly. "Then what? I should cut from my savings to support your mom? Hell no. I've told her over and over not to waste her effing money."
Hey, Helen, calm down.
How can I stay calm in this situation? I've been patient enough. And yet, just lend her a little? You've got to be joking. Then you, her son, lend it to her.
Helen, I get it. Please just
so you know, if you ever take money from my wallet or withdraw from my account without asking, I will never forgive you. If that happens, it's divorce immediately. From now on, you handle your mother. Don't you dare drag me into this ever again." It was the first time I had yelled at my husband like that. I was surprised at my own fierceness. He was taken aback, standing there with his mouth open. To drive the point home, I yelled at him again. "Hello? Are you listening?"
Yes, I understand.
After that, I stopped going to Lucy's house altogether. I ignored any request for money. Then Lucy's target shifted from the cold daughter-in-law to her kind son. His phone was bombarded daily with her calls, and he quickly became exhausted. "Hey, Jonah, I'm short on living expenses again."
Again? I just gave you $500.
"I spent it on supplements."
How much did you spend?
$500.
You spent all of it? All of my $500 allowance?
It seemed really good.
You have your pension, right? Use that.
That's long gone. Please, I won't make it without your help.
Please, try to be a bit more careful with your spending.
Eventually, he couldn't take it anymore and said he was going to visit home. He went to his mother's house for the first time in months to confront her. But he was shocked at the sheer amount of fitness equipment and supplements.
What is all this? The place is filled with boxes.
But...
No buts. Get rid of it now!
Are you going to take away an old woman's only joy? I thought you were on my side.
Ah, I'm so done with this.
Apparently, they had a huge fight. Seeing the situation for himself seemed to have finally opened his eyes. He apologized to me as soon as he got back.
Really sorry, Helen. I should have listened to you.
What's this all of a sudden?
I didn't realize Mom's situation was that bad. I finally understand after seeing it with my own eye. You were right all along.
As long as you understand. But what do you plan to do about her?
Talking to her today, I realize it's like talking to a wall. I think no matter how much we try to convince her, she would just keep repeating the same behavior.
Yeah, I figured. After a long discussion, we thought about what we could do. A few days later, my husband and I went to his mother's house and started organizing all the products Lucy had purchased. What are you doing? Stop it! This is no good. This one is expired.
This one's no good either. Oh, this one might be eligible for a cooling off period.
Great. Let's cancel it right away. Don't touch them! They're all my treasures! Ignoring her pleas, we spent the entire day sorting through her purchases. Then, we took everything that could be sold to a recycle shop and sold it all. We also thoroughly checked and canceled all her subscriptions. This way, as long as she doesn't use mail order, nothing else will be delivered to this house. After everything was cleaned up, my husband gave his mother the money we got from the recycle shop and finally said,
Mom, I'm sorry, but we can't keep doing this. This is the last act of filial piety we can offer.
How could you? Selling my things and canceling my supplements. Why would you do something so terrible?
Terrible? Do you hear yourself, Mom? Your spending habits have been a burden on us. Wake up. What you're doing is like flushing money down the toilet.
What?
We're done. If you still want to waste your money, go ahead.
Then, realizing her son was no longer reliable, she turned to cling to me. Please, Helen, don't abandon me. I'm sorry, Lucy. I looked at her quietly. There's nothing more we can do for you. Please use your pension wisely. No, don't leave me. As we walked away, she was left crying, but we didn't look back. She was cut off by her son and daughter-in-law, effectively disowned. She tried to contact us several times after that, but of course, we didn't respond. We have no way of knowing how she's living now without anyone to rely on. I feel sorry for her, but I'm done being involved in such troublesome matters. Meanwhile, we moved away from the house near Lucy and started a new life. Jonas seems to have learned his lesson from dealing with his mother, and he's been more receptive to my opinions lately. We won't be called to his mom's house anymore. There's no need to worry about Lucy for Thanksgiving or Christmas anymore. From now on, my husband and I want to live a peaceful life like before. That's all I wish for now.